there a little bit. I don't want to spend too much on the theories. That was a little bit of background. Okay, now we want to do it. Okay, how we can start it? There are some steps. All right. The first step we need to know is we need to identify the question. Okay, what do you want to achieve from doing this systematic literature review, right? So we need to formulate a clear, well-defined research question of appropriate scope, right? We need to define the terminology. We need to look in existing reviews and everything to be able to identify the gap, right? We want to make sure we are not doing exactly the same thing as done before, right? So that's the main thing. So we need to look into it. So there are so many different methods out there, but I'll just share with you some of the names. You might hear that. One called PICO, or it can be a spider. So you can help, with the help of this, you can actually refine your research questions as well at the same time. What are the PICO? So P, you can see, it stands for population, problem. I, intervention, exposure, comparison, and outcome. This is a PICO, all right? Or you might go to the spider. Spider is a little bit more in detail, right? We're looking into sample, we're looking into phenomenal interest, design, evaluation, and the research type, right? So it can be all those things that we can look into it for our systematic review. So again, depends on what you're doing, depends on how deep you're looking into, or there are lots of other ways that we can develop those research questions. But the simple one is PICO or spider, so you can use this and use these justifications to be able to develop good, clear research question. This is very important. If the research question is not clear, you're not sure where you're going to, right? So again, this is very important for us to make sure it is out there. The next step. So now we already define our research question. We know that, right? Next step, we need to look into, all right, what are our inclusion and what are the exclusion criteria, all right? We need to clearly state those criteria to whether or not to take the study or consider a study, or we don't consider that. Consider a study population, a study design, intervention type, comparison group, measure outcome. We need to look into it. We need to looking into, all right, maybe, for example, we're only looking into English published journal, right? We might looking into certain dates. There are some reason we pick certain dates, or looking into different groups, right? So I just put some of those examples here for us as well, so we can see it, right? So again, it depends, right, to the study and how deep you want to go through it. Now, you identify the question, you identify all those steps we want. We need to identify which databases we are focusing on. We cannot just simply eliminate a database, right? So we need to make sure, look, as a reviewer, for example, I'm of the editors, right, of the journals and a reviewer of many journals, right? When I look at, for example, a structured literature review, systematic literature review come to me to review, I look at how big is the scope of the databases they're looking into, right? These are just some examples. Google Scholar, Scopus, Web Science, we have so many, right? It's really important you pick all those famous ones and you don't miss out, because reviewer will definitely come back to you and say, oh, by the way, you miss out this database. How come? What you need to do, you need to find those databases that is well established in your discipline, right? Some of these databases are well established in business. Some of them are well established in healthcare, or health focus or clinical focus studies. So these are very important factors for us. So make sure as a researcher, whoever going through this, writing this type of journals, or even you might doing your PhD or master or research thesis, this is very important that at the beginning of your thesis that you do a complete structural systematic literature review to show your examiners that you already identify everything in that area that you're focusing. And this is how it shows that your research is really well established, right? So again, these are some steps. All right, we're coming back to those inclusions and exclusions again. It's very important that we're looking into and search every single papers into this journal that you're writing. You can start maybe looking into title. Usually title and abstract is the best way. So when you search on any databases, you can click, you can select either title, you can select either a title and abstract. Usually title and abstract is a must, right? We need to search those keywords that we choose into the title and abstract as well. And definitely it brings us lots of papers, and then we need to screen them. We need to go through them and make sure they're exactly what we're looking for, right? And we can select them, we can download them, we can select them, whatever methods. Usually what we do, you can make a summary of them in Excel or whatever method that you going through. This is very important that you identify all relevant studies. I tell you what, the first systematic literature review I publish, and reviewer come back with one paper out of 62 papers that I identified, and reviewer come back to me that I missed one paper, right? So then I need to change the entire structure, change the entire, analysis result and everything to just add that one paper in there. Right, so it's really important that we do not miss those papers. It's very important for us. You can use many methods to extract this data, all right? You can either use a spreadsheet, Excel, you can use those softwares out there, right? So you can use either those softwares. It's up to you what tools you're interested in, right? You can do it manually, or you can use those softwares. I just named some of those softwares here, Rayyan and RevMan. But again, there are so many tools out there. It's not just these tools, but there are so many out there that you can utilize them. Again, depends on the availability of the software to you, or depends on all those methods, which ones you feel more comfortable with it, right? After a while, you get used to all those softwares and everything is fine. So you need to go through and present your result and assess the quality of those evidence, right? Clearly present the findings, include all those strategies, selection criteria, inclusion, exclusions, some of your reviews, whatever, right? You need definitely to do a meta-analysis if a study allows as well, right? So again, this is very important. And then you come to some recommendation for practice, some policy making, so many things. This is where actually you can find gaps. You can you can propose recommendation, you can propose future research and everything as well. So again, these methods or these ones are really important that we don't miss out. All right, so another very, very important step. You need to identify where you want to publish your paper. Not all journals that publish systematic literature review, right? So the best way is either you use ABDC rank from Australia, or you use SciMyGo, whatever method. So I'm just pointing out the SciMyGo here. Go to there. Try to search for the journal related to the topic. For example, I'm talking about supply chain. I search supply chain there, and it gives me a list of supply chain journals. I go to the website. I look at the publication they have. Either they publish this kind of paper or not. And if they publish it, the best way is get some similar journals that they already publish. Look at the structure, see how they structure the paper, and you can follow the structure because they already accept that structure so you can follow the same structure. Of course, different topic, different discipline, but the structure is there. So you can look at it, you can make sure that this is very important. You definitely need to go to the journal and say, okay, this is where I'm going to publish my paper, and try to find at least a couple of papers from there to see how they write, how they structure it, what are the components needed in there to be able to publish. So this step also really important as well. Remember, not all journals, they publish the systematic review. This is for publication, but if you're doing the thesis and research, your master by research, you definitely need anyway do a systematic review for your literature review sections as well. This is very important that your examiners, they see that you've done it. And also, because you've done it, you can publish a paper out of it, right? You're doing it for your PhD. You're doing it for master by research. You're doing you might doing honors by research. So you're doing some research. So basically, you can actually have one publication, only systematic review, right? And then later on, when you have your data and everything, you can publish more and more, right? So don't miss out the chance to publish at least one paper out of this systematic or structured review as well. This is kind of what actually the author do. This is kind of how the structure look like. Okay, so we're looking into, it's like a filter, right? We go through shifting, selecting a study, extract data from a study, access the quality of the study, combine data, discussion, and it come out systematic review and distribution, whatever we're looking for, right? And also this is kind of a structure of a paper as well. There's a title, abstract, summary, background, objective, method, result, discussion, and some of the conclusions. It's very important kind of you're looking into some sort of implication for the practice and for research or theoretical implications as well. This is very important because then we can go through all those steps and future research and stuff on the conclusion as well.